Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today to do an update on my Pan That palette series, which is a series where I'm trying to pan 2 eyeshadow palettes and 2 face palettes this year. Look, I'm not going to finish every single eyeshadow, let's be real, I'm aware of that, but I'm going to see how much progress I can make on these palettes throughout the year, and I'm going to do little check-ins every month. I have made some okay progress this month, I think. I'm happy with it anyway, which is good. And if I keep making as much progress as I'm currently making, maybe middle of the year I might add in another palette or something just to keep it fresh and keep it fun. But where do we start? Let's start with the most disappointing thing, my highlighter palette. So this is my 4-pan highlighter palette from Laura Mercier. It's the Fall in Love Face Illuminator collection. I'll have a comparison on the screen from last month to this month, and hopefully you can see there's some wearing down, especially in the yellow shade, or the gold shade, sorry. But I haven't hit any pan on this. I don't think I'm close. Look, they're baked highlighters, and to be fair, I've sort of been focusing on the highlighter in this palette a lot more, but you know, but this is where I'm seeing least progress, so let's get this one out of the way. You're disappointing. This one, not disappointing. I have been using this Smashbox palette. This is the Crush on Blush palette for like most days, to the point where I actually have a bronzer in my project pan that I just do not touch because I've been using exclusively the bronzer and generally the highlighter in this palette, along with obviously the blushes. All right, reveal, big reveal. I only hit pan on one of these this morning, so it was really good timing. I thought, look, I have to film this because I've hit pan. So I hit pan on the bronzer the other week. So you can see that that's just been getting bigger and bigger. And this morning I hit pan on the highlighter. So you can see a little bit of baby pan there. So pretty much every day I use this as a bronzer. I use quite a lot of bronzer around the sort of perimeter of my face. I use this blush. I don't think I've used any other blush except for this one in the corner this past month. And hopefully when I do a close-up photo, you'll see a little bit of a dent in there. I'm not too sure. It's sort of hard to see, but you can definitely see the dent in the highlighter and also the pan that I hit this morning. Again, this is the highlighter that I've been focusing on most, so I have been neglecting this palette to focus on this shade here, and it's not because I like this formula more than these. I actually prefer this highlighter formula. It's just that this is so convenient. You just open one palette, you got your bronzer, your blush, and your highlighter. So that's what I've been reaching for really, really quickly on my sort of everyday makeup. So I am wearing these today. As you can see, I'm going quite highlighted. I'm even wearing the gold on top because I thought I'll just layer more, like layer 2 highlighters to get a lot of use, but I'm really happy with that progress. So yeah, I don't know if I'll hit pan on all 4 blushes this year, but at least I think these will be done by the end of the year, which I think is great. All right, onto my palettes, and these are the Lorac Pro palettes, number 1 and number 2. Number 2 is what I wear the most. I'm actually wearing number 1 on my eyes today, but number 2 is what I tend to wear the most. Last month I did hit pan on Buff, so this shade up in the corner I hit pan on, and I did make that pan bigger, so you'll see a comparison on the screen, but you'll also see that I hit pan on Rosé. So this was a shade that I was talking about last month that I was a little bit, towards the end of the month, I was getting a little bit conservative with. I didn't want to hit pan on it before this month because my goal is to hit pan on one shade between the 2 palettes each month. And I thought if I hit pan on this one too soon, possibly this month I'd have no panage. But yeah, we came through. It's a really beautiful shade. I've made some decent pan on it. And you can probably also see that on the shade Mocha, there is more of a dent, and also light brown. I'm not too sure because it's matte, it's hard to see the sort of dent in it, but I've made a big dent in that too. In my last video, a few people thought they could see pan in Mocha. It wasn't. It's just that sometimes there's like big chunks of shimmer in the pan, and there was one particular sort of chunk of shimmer that was catching the light and looked like a bit of pan, but there is definitely no pan in this. I do use it quite regularly. I think there's more of a dip in it this month, but it's definitely not, there's no pan there yet. With the Lorac one. So this is the one I use the least. I still have some pan in here. So you'll see that I hit pan on the shade Mauve. That was only, I think, last week. So I am seeing a little bit more use. It's a really beautiful sort of crease shade. I'm wearing it today. And yeah, there was a big dent in it last month and I just, you know, extended that a bit. When it comes to Progress, I think light bronze, there's a bit of a dent in it. Pewter, there's a dent. Maybe gold, there's a little bit more of a dent compared to last month, and also in the shade cream. Since I hit pan in the buff shade in this palette, I've sort of been switching over to using cream to hit pan on that one. So there's a few possibilities for next month. I'm thinking light bronze and cream, you know, one of those will go first, but you know, I've hit pan, so hooray. Oh, and if you see in the close-up, deep purple, there's a big gouge taken out of that. That was only a mishap with this morning. I actually didn't close the palette. I used it and then I put this palette over the top to use this. I don't know why I did that. And the corner of my face palette gouged into that one. So that is not use. But it's probably a shade that I'm not going to get any use out of anyway. So, you know, that's a good one to ruin accidentally. So yeah, just a quick video about my progress, and look, I'm happy with my progress so far, especially on this face palette, but it does go to show that if you wear bronzer, highlighter on a daily basis and you use the same product over and over again, you can use it up pretty fast. I am going to struggle with the blushes though, because I don't like too much blush. I can sort of absorb a lot of bronzer and blend out a lot of highlighter to make it work, but a lot of blush is a bit too much for my skin coloring and whatnot. So yeah, I think that's where I'm going to struggle the most is the blushes, but I feel like everything else I'm doing all right. I might actually switch and try to focus on these highlighters a little bit more over the next month so I can start seeing some real use, especially out of those top two. Now that I've hit pan on the highlighter, but you know, again, all in one palette, so convenient. It's almost hard to not want to use the highlighter in here. All right, so that's it. Hopefully you're having a great day and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.